I want to talk about this Sweet 16 we just had. This was a very fun couple days of basketball. We got the Elite Eight coming right away too, which is super cool to see. I just like the tournament is one of the best playoff formats in all of sports. You have no idea what's gonna happen. There's nobody ever been able to pick a bracket because there's so many moving pieces, there's so many upsets, and this weekend we had a ton of upsets. To start things off, Gonzaga lost to Arkansas, the number 4 seed Arkansas, and they took down the number 1 seed Gonzaga. They were number 1 in the whole tournament. In this game, Chet Holmgren, he went into foul trouble and was kind of in foul trouble the whole game. He sat out most of the first half because of foul trouble, and then it came in the second half as well, and then he fouled out towards the end with quite a bit of time left. So when he was in the game, he was making a big impact. The problem was he wasn't in the game too much, and so because of this, he wasn't able to make a huge impact on the overall game. And then Timmy had a good game as well. He wasn't able to carry them without Holmgren in there, and they didn't get as much out of the guards as they did against Memphis. But this was a really big game for Arkansas. Arkansas's led their forward Jalen Williams and then their guard JD Note. They both had huge games, and they were able to get past Gonzaga. So the rest of this tournament, honestly, I have no clue how it's going to go. It's been so interesting so far. And then Villanova was able to get past Michigan. Gillespie, Moore, and Samuels all had big games for Villanova. And they're going to play Houston next, so that's going to be interesting. Houston also just took down the number 1 seed Arizona. They were led by Kyler Edwards and Jamal Sheed. And then for Arizona, Mothrin, he still had a solid game. I think he's probably going to be a top 10 pick. But Houston was able to get past them. So multiple upsets. 2 number 1 seeds lost this weekend. Kansas was able to win, so they don't end up being no number 1 seeds in the Elite Eight, but we were close to that. And then the Duke Texas Tech game, I think this was the funnest game from the first night. It was a super close game, and then Paulo Banchero took over for Duke. I think he could be the number 1 pick in this draft. He's got such a polished game. He hit a bunch of really big shots. He's got a mid-range game. He's good attacking the basket. He's a big dude too, so he's super talented. I think he could be a top pick. But they also have a lot of other talent on this team. AJ Griffin made a bunch of big plays when it mattered the most. Mark Williams was really dominant in the post as well. And then they got a lot out of Wendell Moore and Jeremy Roach. This is just a stacked Duke team. I think they have the talent to win this whole tournament. It's just going to be a matter of putting it all together at the right time and, continuing to win, of course. And then today, to start things off, St. Peter's, a number 15 seed, makes history, become the first 15 seed to reach the Elite Eight, and they beat Purdue 67-64. And this was a total back and forth game. Towards the end of the game, St. Peter's was able to take a lead, and then Jaden Ivey came in and hit a super big 3. And then St. Peter's goes up again, and Jaden Ivey gets a chance at the very end of the game to hit a really deep 3. I'd say it was a little behind NBA 3-point line, but he had a chance to tie the game. He didn't have his best game total. I think he only had 9 points in the game, but he was making big plays at the end of the game, and this was just a really fun back and forth game. I think St. Peter's they're such a fun team. They've got guys that just they play hard. They play great team basketball. They play really really good defense. They can shoot the ball. They're a super fun team to watch, and I think it would be so fun to see if they could make the Final Four. Seeing a number 15 seed go this far in itself is remarkable, but going even further would be insane to see. And then we had we had Providence was the team that was facing Kansas. They lost 66-61. They fell just short of the comeback. They were very close into this, kind of always trailing Kansas, but getting close to coming back and making it the ball game. And then UNC beat UCLA. And it's funny because this year North Carolina is an 8 seed. So them beating a 4 seed, you'd think like, oh, this is normally an 8 seed making it this far is an upset and crazy to see. But it's also North Carolina, so it's almost like more expected than it would be with another team. But North Carolina had Caleb Love had an insane game. He went off for 30 points. He was just hitting everything, hitting crazy threes, step backs with hands in his face, just making play after play. It was super fun to watch. The big guy Manic, he hit a bunch of big shots in this game. And then the guy on this team, North Carolina, that I like a lot too is Bacot. Bencott. He's the post, super he just plays really good all around. He's playing great defense, getting a bunch of key rebounds on the offensive and defensive side of things, and he's finishing in the paint as well. So that was a really fun game to watch. And then the final game of the night, which I didn't understand why they made this the final game of the Sweet 16. This was the number 10 and the number 11 seed, Miami and Iowa State. And Miami just kind of led this game the whole time. Iowa State they tried to close in at moments in the game, but towards the end, Miami was just able to pull away and get a 70-56 win. So that kind of rounds out the Elite Eight. I'm super curious to see how things are going to go. A lot of the number 1 seeds are gone. There's 3 of them gone. Kansas is the only one left. But things are just so up in the air. Honestly, at this point, anybody could win. I think it's going to be crazy. I think things are setting up for a potential, Duke winning and Coach K leaving his legendary Hall of Fame career with a win. But things could very well also be, a team like a number 15 seed going the deepest in tournament history, like St. Peter's. There's a lot of really good teams left in this tournament. I'm curious to see how the rest of it's going to play out.